Senora Henderson, you're facing $15,000 in fines, legal fees of $8,000, and potential foreclosure. Over 4 inches, the judge's words echoed through the courtroom. 4 inches. That's all it took for Doug Patterson to destroy everything I'd built. Let me take you back to where this nightmare began. I'm Karen Henderson, HOA, president of Meadowbrook Community for 7 years. I fought for homeowners' rights. I reduced fees, stopped ridiculous fines, made our neighborhood better, until Doug Patterson moved in next door. March 2024. The for sale sign came down at 117 Maple Drive. I was excited about new neighbors. Asterisk, Karen raises hand, enthusiastically asterisk instead. I got Doug. First meeting, Saturday morning. I was planting tulips when a silver Mercedes pulled up. Out stepped a man in his early 50s, wearing an expensive polo shirt. Good morning. Welcome. I'm Karen Henderson. Doug looked at me like I was gum on his shoe. Henderson, you're the HOA president? That's right. If you need anything, what I need is for people to follow rules. This neighborhood's gone downhill. I see 3 violations from here. Asterisk. Karen's smile fades asterisk. He pointed at Mrs. Chune's garden gnomes, the Martinez family's basketball hoop, and my mailbox with a small dent. Those aren't violations. We have reasonable rules. Not anymore. I've read the original covenants from 19... I'm here to restore standards. He walked inside without another word. Asterisks, Karen shakes head asterisk 2 weeks later, certified letter in my mailbox. Notice of violation. Your fence extends 4 inches beyond approved setback line. 14 days to fix or $50 per day, fine. Submitted by Douglas Patterson, board member. Board member, I called Jeanette, our HOA secretary. Janet? How is Doug a board member? Karen. He found a loophole. Tom Morrison moved to Florida. Doug submitted paperwork. You had 72 hours to object, but he sent it to the formal HOA email. The email I checked monthly. Asterisk, Karen Pushan, to forehead asterisk. I measured my fence, 4 inches, over the line. A fence there for 17 years. Never an issue. I knocked on Doug's door that evening. Doug, that fence has been there 20 years. It was grandfathered, was it? I see no documentation, just a clear violation. It's 4 inches. 4 inches today, 4 feet tomorrow. Rules exist for a reason. Asterisk Karen crosses arms. Asterisk I'll fix it Gudo. And I've documented violations throughout the neighborhood. 23 properties. Time Meadowbrook. Remembered standards. Door slammed in my face. Cheapest contractor, quote, $2,800. For 4 inches, then violation notices flooded mailboxes. Mrs. Chune's no Martinez basketball hoop. Mr. Warren's lawn was 1/8 inch too tall. My phone exploded. Karen, what's happening? Why these fines? Can't you stop this? Emergency board meeting? Me, Janet, Doug, Michael Torres, our treasurer. Doug, these notices are excessive. This neighborhood's become a joke. Property values are suffering. We had 2 houses sell above asking last month. They could sell for more with proper enforcement. Asterisk Karen leans forward intensely. Asterisk. This isn't about property values. Interesting defensiveness. Makes me wonder what else you've let slide during your tenure? Michael tried compromise. 90 days instead of 14. No. 14 days is policy, unless President Henderson wants a community vote, which takes 60 days. Trapped. That Friday, I paid $3,100 to move my fence 4 inches. Monday, new violation. My dented mailbox. Fine. $50 daily, until replaced. Wednesday, front door paint weathered. $50 daily. Friday, driveway crack, too large, $50 daily. Asterisk. Karen slams hand on table. Asterisk. $150 daily, for issues that existed for years. By April's end. $4,500 in fines. I'm a single mom. Daughter Sophie's at State University, $18,000 yearly. My librarian salary, $42,000. After mortgage and helping Sophie, I had $600 monthly for everything else. $4,500 wiped my emergency savings. Hired lawyer, Benjamin Cross. $200 consultation. Senor and Henderson, technically, these are valid violations. Proving harassment costs $8,000 to $12,000 in legal fees. Asterisk Karen puts head in hands. Asterisk couldn't afford court. Paid the fines. May board meeting. Doug struck. I'm calling no confidence. Vote on Karen Henderson. 42 signatures, more than required 30%, citing selective enforcement and financial mismanagement. Financial mismanagement. $3,200 in community funds vanished last year. That went to playground renovation. I have receipts. I did. In my garage. But the accusation plus petition was enough. Vote scheduled June 5th. 3 weeks campaigning. Showing documentation. People were sympathetic, but terrified. Doug had sent notices to 47 properties. Sorry, Karen, Mrs. Chun cried. I can't afford more fines. Asterisk Karen's shoulders slump. Asterisk June 14th night. Couldn't sleep. 2:30 a.m. heard voices. Doug's house was lit. Through his window. Him with 5 strangers around his dining table. Documents, laptops, architectural plans. One pointed at plans. Another took notes. Doug wore that cold smile. Asterisk Karen's eyes. Narrow asterisk. Something was very wrong. I photographed through the window. Faces, documents, time stamp, 2:47 a.m. Next morning, community center, 63 homeowners, largest turnout in years. My phone rang and Principal Martinez. Karen, come to my office Monday, before school. We received a formal complaint about financial impropriety and theft. Serious. Bring a union rep. Who filed it? Can't say, but it came with extensive documentation. Asterisk Karen grips phone, tightly asterisk. Doug was across the room, talking to neighbors. He looked up, caught my eye, winked. He was trying to get me fired. Vote began 7 p.m. Janet counted ballots. My phone buzzed unknown number. You should have followed the rules, Karen. Now you'll lose everything. HOA presidency is just the start. By the time I'm done, you won't have a job, home, or reputation. D.I. looked up. Doug stared at me. Cold smiles spreading. This was never about 4 inches of fence. This was about complete destruction. What would you do if a neighbor destroyed your life over 4 inches? Have you dealt with HOA nightmares? Doug's threatening text glowed on my screen. You'll lose everything. Across the room, he smiled that cold smile. But I had something he didn't know about those midnight meeting photos, and I was about to discover his plan was even worse than I imagined. The vote results came in at 7:45 p.m. Janet's voice shook as she read them. 41 votes to remove Karen Henderson as HOA president. 22 votes to retain. I lost by 19 votes. Asterisk Karen closes eyes. Takes deep breath. Asterisk Doug stood immediately. I nominate myself for HOA president. Second, said a voice I didn't recognize. A woman in the back row I'd never seen before. The vote was unanimous among those who'd voted me out. Doug Patterson was now HOA president. He approached me as people filed out. No hard feelings, Karen. You understand, standards matter. I'll expect your files and access codes by Monday. Asterisk Karen stands tall. Chin up asterisk. You'll get 'em. But Doug, I know you're up to something. That midnight meeting, those people I've never seen. His smile vanished. Just for a second, I saw something dark flash in his eyes. Careful, Karen. You're already facing serious allegations at work. Wouldn't want to add harassment or defamation to your problems. It worked Hawaii, leaving me cold. That weekend, I did what any desperate person would do. I investigated. Saturday morning, I uploaded those midnight meeting photos to my laptop and zoomed in. The faces were blurry, but documents on Doug's table were partially visible. One showed what looked like property boundaries. Another displayed financial projections with $signs Primera need help. I called my daughter, Sophie. She was studying computer science, specialized in digital imaging. Mom, send me everything. I'll run it through enhancement software. 3 hours later, she called back. Mom, you're not going to believe this. I enhanced the documents. One shows a development proposal for Meadowbrook Community. De Heda Sayas Patterson and Associates Development, LLC. Asterisk Karen Grips Phone Tida. Asterisk Development. What kind of development? Looks like luxury condos. The proposal mentions acquisition of single-family properties and rezoning application. Mum, I think Doug wants to buy up houses and redevelop the entire neighborhood. Suddenly, everything made sense. The excessive fines, the harassment, driving down property values, scaring homeowners. Doug was trying to force people to sell cheap. Sophie, can you send me everything you enhanced already in your email? I spent Sunday researching Patterson and Associates Development, LLC. It was registered in Delaware 3 months before Doug moved to listed partners: Douglas Patterson, Richard Chun, Maria Vasquez, and James Morrison. Morrison, Tom Morrison, the board member who moved to Florida, creating the vacancy. Doug filled asterisk. Karen stands up abruptly. Asterisk. This wasn't coincidence. This was planned. Monday morning arrived too fast. I sat in Principal Martinez's office. Union rep beside me, as he slid a folder across his desk. Karen, this complaint alleges you've been embezzling from the school library fund. $3,200 over the past year. The exact amount Doug claimed went missing from HOA funds. That's impossible. I don't even have access to library funds beyond my purchasing card, which is reviewed monthly. The complaint includes bank statements showing deposits to your account matching library fund withdrawals. He showed me printouts. My bank account. Deposits I'd never made. $200 in July, $350 in September, $500 in November. Asterisk. Karen shakes head in disbelief. Asterisk. I never received these deposits. Dies is fraud. Someone's setting me up. Who filed this complaint? My union rep asked. Principal Martinez hesitated. A concerned parent, Douglas Patterson. Of course, he's fabricating evidence, I said. He wants me fired because I'm investigating his development scheme, Karen. I want to believe you, but these bank statements are official documents. I have to place you on administrative leave pending investigation. 2 weeks with pay while we sort this out. I walked out of that office feeling like I'd been punched. That afternoon, I contacted my bank. Manager reviewed my account personally. Senora Henderson, these deposits don't exist in our system. The statements you were shown are forgeries. Can you provide proof? I'll prepare certified statements showing your actual transaction history. But I should warn you, whoever forged these is sophisticated. They used our letterhead, proper formatting. This is serious fraud. Asterisk. Karen nods, grimly. Asterisk. I needed legal help beyond what I could afford, but I also needed to protect my neighbors. Tuesday evening, I started knocking on doors. Mrs. Chun answered first. Karen, I'm so sorry about the vote, but Doug said if I supported you. I know. But Mrs. Chun, Doug isn't who he says he is. He's a property developer trying to buy up our homes. I showed her Sophie's enhanced photos on my tablet. Her eyes widened. My grandson's been pressuring me to move to assisted living. He said the neighborhood's declining. Showed me a letter offering to buy my house for 70% of market value. Who made the offer? Some company. Patterson Development. Asterisk. Karen leans in urgently. Asterisk. How many others received offers? I don't know, but maybe 8 or 9 families mentioned considering selling. I visited 12 more houses that night. 7 had received purchase offers from Patterson Development or affiliated companies, all below market value, all pressured by Doug's violation fines. The Martinez family showed me their offer letter. Given recent HOA enforcement issues and declining neighborhood standards, we offer $230,000 for your property valued at $320,000. $90,000 below value. Wednesday, I compiled everything. Enhanced photos, purchase offers, Doug's LLC registration, the forged bank statements, a timeline of events. I needed someone who could stop this legally. I remembered reading about a state attorney who'd prosecuted HOA fraud cases. Margaret Chun, no relation to my neighbor. I sent her everything via email marked Urgent HOA Development Fraud Scheme. Thursday morning, she called. Senora Henderson, I've reviewed your evidence. This appears to be a systematic fraud operation. I need more concrete proof of conspiracy before I can open an official investigation. Karen paces nervously. What kind of proof? Recordings of Doug admitting the scheme. Documents showing coordination between him and property buyers. Evidence of the forgeries being created. How am I supposed to get that? I didn't say it would be easy, but without it, this is just circumstantial. Smart lawyers could argue coincidence. I hung up, frustrated. Friday brought more bad news. A certified letter from Doug, now as HOA president. Notice of Leanne. Karen Henderson owes $9,200 in unpaid HOA fines. Failure to pay within 30 days will result in foreclosure proceedings. $9,200. Karen drops letter. Hands trembling. I didn't have $9,000. After paying the earlier fines and fence repair, my savings were nearly gone. That evening, sitting in my kitchen, surrounded by documents, my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. Senora Henderson. This is James Morrison, Tom Morrison's brother. Tom, the board member who moved to Florida. I need to talk to you about Doug Patterson. Can we meet? We met at a coffee shop Saturday morning. James was in his 60s, looked worried. My brother Tom didn't move to Florida. Doug paid him $50,000 to resign from the HOA board and disappear for 6 months. Karen leans forward intensely. Why? Doug needed a board seat to control the HOA. Tom was gambling debts. Desperate, Doug offered cash to create a vacancy. Tom took it, went to Atlantic City. Now he's broke again and scared. He asked me to warn you, Doug's dangerous. He threatened Tom's family if he talked. Will Tom testify? He's terrified. But I recorded our conversation. He admits everything. James handed me a USB drive. There's more. Tom said Doug has partners. Investors who've done this before. They target HOA communities, manipulate boards, drive residents out, buy cheap, redevelop expensive. Meadowbrook is their 4th project. Karen takes USB drive carefully. What happened to the other 3 communities? Gone. Demolished. Turned into luxury developments. Hundreds of families displaced. I had the proof Attorney Chun needed. I was about to stand when James grabbed my arm. Senora Henderson, you need to be careful. Last week, someone broke into Tom's apartment. Nothing stolen, but they left a message on his mirror. Silence is survival. I drove home USB drive, hidden in my purse. As I pulled into my driveway, I saw Doug standing on my front porch. Waiting, he held up an envelope. Special delivery. Karen. Foreclosure notice. You have 30 days to vacate. Unless... Karen exits car, slowly. Unless... What? Doug smiled. Unless you sell to me now, I'll pay your fines, drop the school complaint, make all this go away. $200,000 for your house, cash. You walk away clean. My house is worth $340,000. Was worth that before you became a pariah? Before the embezzlement allegations? Before your neighbors learned what kind of person you really are? He stepped closer. Take the offer. Karen, it's more mercy than you deserve. Primetta looked at him, this man who'd systematically destroyed my life, over 4 inches of fence, who was destroying my entire neighborhood for profit. And I smiled. Karen smiles coldly. No deal. Doug's face darkened. You're making a mistake? Maybe. But I'd rather lose my house fighting. You then sell it, feeding your greed? He handed me the envelope. 30 days. Then you're homeless. As he walked away, I clutched my purse containing the USB drive. I had evidence now. I had testimony. I had proof of the conspiracy. But I also had 30 days before I lost everything. Would you take Doug's offer or fight back? Can Karen expose the conspiracy in 30 days? What would you do with that USB drive? Doug wanted to buy my silence for $200,000. I had 30 days before foreclosure, but I had something worth more than money. Tom Morrison's confession on a USB drive. Time to go to war. Monday morning, I was in attorney Margaret Choon's office before she finished her first coffee. I have the proof you needed. I plugged in the USB drive. Tom Morrison's voice filled the room. Doug paid me $50,000 to resign and disappear. He needed my board seat. Said he'd done this 3 times before. Take over HOAs, fine everyone into selling cheap, redevelop for millions. He threatened my sister's family if I talked. Asterisk attorney Chun leans forward, eyes sharp. Asterisk Margaret stopped the recording. This is solid. Combined with your other evidence, the forged bank statements, the below-market offers, the LLC registration, we can build a case. How long will it take? Criminal investigation? 3 to 6 months minimum. Civil suit? Even longer. I have 30 days before I lose my house. Margaret sat back. Then we need to move fast and hit hard. I'll contact the FBI's white-collar crime division today. This crosses state lines. That's federal jurisdiction. Asterisk Karen exhales. With relief, asterisk, what do I do? Document everything. Record every interaction with Doug, if legal, in your state. Gather every HOA notice, every fine, every communication. And Karen, be careful. If Doug realizes you have this evidence, he might get desperate. That afternoon, I installed security cameras around my house for cameras covering all angles. Cost $800 I didn't have. Charged to my last credit card. Tuesday, the FBI called. Special Agent Robert Torres introduced himself. Senor and Henderson were opening a preliminary investigation into Douglas Patterson and Patterson and Associates Development, LLC. We'd like you to come in for a formal statement. Wednesday morning, FBI field office. 3 hours of questions. Reviewing documents. Explaining the timeline. How many properties has Patterson Development approached? Agent Torres asked. At least 15. In our neighborhood, all below market value. All homeowners facing Doug's excessive fines. We'll need to interview them. Can you provide contact information? I handed over my compiled list. Asterisk Karen slides folder across table. Asterisk Agent Torres reviewed it. Senor and Henderson, primera abeto osk. Are you willing to wear a wire? My heart stopped. A wire. If you could get Doug to discuss the scheme on record, it would accelerate our case significantly. But it's dangerous. If he suspects, I'll do it. Thursday, they fitted me with a recording device. Tiny microphone hidden in a button, transmitter in my jacket lining. Just have a normal conversation. Agent Torres coached. Let him talk. People like Doug love to brag about how smart they are. Friday afternoon, Primera texted Doug, need to discuss your offer. Can we talk? He replied immediately. My house, 6 p.m. Asterisk Karen checks recording device nervously. Asterisk 6 p.m. I stood on Doug's porch. FBI van parked 3 blocks away. Listening, Doug answered, smiling. Got in. Changed your mind about my generous offer. I need to understand something first. Why target me specifically? Why the 4-inch fence violation? Doug gestured me inside. You want the truth? Please. He poured himself bourbon. You were HOA president. Too popular. Too helpful. Too protective of the neighbors. I needed you gone before implementing my plan. The fence was just an excuse. Could have been anything. Your mailbox, your lawn, your paint. I would have found something. Asterisk Karen maintains calm expression asterisk, and the school complaint. The forged bank statements. Doug laughed. Necessary pressure. You're stubborn. Karen. I needed you desperate enough to sell. The embezzlement allegation was brilliant, wasn't it? Same amount as the HOA discrepancy made you look consistently corrupt. How did you forge the bank statements? Professional graphic designer. Costs $2,000 per document set, but worth every penny. Use the same technique in Riverside Acres, Willow Creek, and Sunset Meadows. The 3 previous communities James Morrison mentioned. You've done this before. 4 times now. Meadowbrooks. My biggest project yet. 47 properties. Average purchase price 65% of market value. Development profit estimated at $8.3 million. Asterisk Karen struggles to hide shock. Asterisk $8.3 million. What about the people you displaced? Doug Srugit. They got fair market value considering the neighborhood's condition. Well, the condition I created. That's just business, Karen. Create the problem. Sell the solution. And your partners, Richard Chen, Maria Vasquez? Silent investor. They fund the purchases. I handle the HOA manipulation. 50-50 profit split. We've perfected the system. He leaned forward. Which brings me back to you. $200,000, Karen. Final offer. Take it. Sign a non-disclosure agreement. Move on with your life. What happens if I refuse? The foreclosure proceeds. The embezzlement investigation continues. I can make those charges stick with one phone call. You'll lose your house, your job, your reputation. Choose wisely. Asterisk Karen stands up slowly. Asterisk I need time to think. You have until Monday. After that, the offer expires, and things get unpleasant. I left his house, drove 2 blocks, pulled over. My hands were shaking. My phone rang. Agent Torres, we got everything. Every word. Karen, you just handed us a federal fraud case on a silver platter. Asterisk Karen grips steering wheel. Smiling. Asterisk Saturday morning. I woke to pounding on my door. 7 a.m. Through the window. FBI agents, police cars, news vans. I opened the door. Senor Henderson, we have a warrant for Douglas Patterson's arrest. We're executing search warrants on his property now. Thought you'd want to know. Across the street, agents led Doug out in handcuffs. He saw me, eyes widening in realization. Asterisk Karen waves. Slowly, asterisk news crews surrounded me. Senor Henderson, is it true you helped expose a multi-million-dollar fraud scheme? I gave a brief statement about HOA abuse in protecting neighborhoods, then went inside. My phone exploded with calls. Neighbors apologizing, thanking me, asking questions. Mrs. Chun came to my door with homemade cookies. Karen, I'm so sorry I voted against you. We were all scared. I understand. Doug was good at creating fear. Over the next week, the story unfolded publicly. Doug Patterson arrested on 14 federal charges, including wire fraud, conspiracy, extortion, and forgery. His partners, Richard Chun, Maria Vasquez, and James Morrison, arrested in coordinated raids across 3 states. The previous 3 communities, Doug destroyed. Victims came forward. Class action lawsuits filed. Total damages estimated at $32 million. Asterisk Karen reads news reports. Overwhelmed. Asterisk Tuesday. Principal Martinez called me into his office. Karen, the school board reviewed the FBI's findings. The embezzlement allegations were completely fabricated. We're reinstating you immediately with full back pay. We're also issuing a public apology. Thank you. No, thank you. What you did exposing this corruption that took incredible courage. Wednesday, emergency HOA meeting. 72 homeowners attended. Everyone. Janet Reeves stood. I moved to reinstate Karen Henderson as HOA president by unanimous consent. Second, multiple voices. Every hand raised. Asterisk Karen wipes away. Tears. Asterisk. I don't deserve this after you saved our homes. Mr. Warren interrupted. You risked everything to protect us. You deserve this and more. Thursday, Attorney Margaret Chun called. Karen, I have good news. The court issued an emergency injunction blocking all HOA fines Doug imposed. Every fine from the past 6 months is void, including your $9,200 and the foreclosure notice. I don't have to pay not one penny. Better yet, Doug's seized assets will likely fund restitution for his victims. You might even get your fence repair costs back. Friday evening, I sat on my porch, the porch I almost lost, watching the sunset. Sophie called. Mom, you're trending on social media. HOA hero takes down property developer. They're calling you the people's champion. Asterisk, Karen laughs. Asterisk, I just wanted to keep my home. You did more than that. You exposed a system that was destroying communities. Mom, I'm proud of you. That night, I measured my fence one more time. Still 4 inches over the setback line. I smiled and left it exactly where it was. 2 weeks later, registered mayor arrived. Legal letterhead from Patterson Developments, bankruptcy attorney. Inside, noticed that Doug had hidden assets the FBI hadn't found yet. Assets potentially worth millions, and someone was trying to access them. Someone who'd visited Doug in Federal Holding. Someone whose signature I recognized from HOA documents. Barbara Williams, the woman who'd seconded Doug's nomination for president. The woman I'd never seen before that night. Asterisk, Karen's expression hardens. Asterisk. Doug had a partner the FBI didn't know about, and she was still in Meadowbrook. Karen won. Or did she? Who is Barbara Williams? What hidden assets did Doug leave behind? Comment your theories below. Doug was in federal custody. I'd won my house, my job, my life back. But Barbara Williams, the mystery woman who seconded Doug's nomination, was still out there, trying to access millions in hidden assets. The war wasn't over. It was just beginning. I called Agent Torres immediately. Barbara Williams. Who is she? Give me 10 minutes. 15 minutes later, a cod buck. Karen, Barbara Williams doesn't exist. Not in our databases. Not in public records. It's an alias. Asterisk, Karen paces frantically. Asterisk. She was at the HOA meeting. She voted. She must live here. We're checking property records now. Sit tight. I couldn't sit tight. I grabbed my tablet and pulled up the HOA meeting attendance from June 5th. Barbara Williams had signed in. Address listed, 142 Oak Street. I drove there immediately. 142 Oak Street was a rental property. For sale sign in the yard, dated 3 weeks ago. I called the listing agent. Hi, I'm interested in 142 Oak Street. Is it still available? Just went under contract yesterday. Actually, cash buyer. Quick close. Can I ask who the buyer was? Company called Meadowbrook Holdings, LLC. Asterisk, Karen's eyes widen. Asterisk, I researched Meadowbrook Holdings, registered 2 months before Doug moved to listed owner, Maria Vasquez, one of Doug's arrested partners. But the registered agent, the person who handled paperwork, was Barbara J. Williams. I called Agent Torres back. Barbara Williams is the registered agent for Meadowbrook Holdings, LLC. That's one of Doug's shell companies. We're issuing a warrant now. Karen, stay away from this. If she's Doug's partner, she lived 3 blocks from me for months. She voted me out of the HOA. She's been here the whole time. Tuesday morning, I was drinking coffee when my doorbell rang. Barbara Williams stood on my porch. Asterisk, Karen freezes. Hand on doorknob. Asterisk, she smiled. Pleasant, warm, completely unthreatening. Senora Henderson. I'm so sorry to bother you. I'm Barbara Williams. We met briefly at the HOA meeting. I wanted to apologize for voting against you. I didn't understand the situation. I kept the door half closed. It's fine. I also wanted to warn you. I've been receiving strange calls. Someone asking about Doug, about HOA finances, about you. I think one of Doug's victims might be targeting people connected to him. What kind of calls? Threatening, saying, I helped Doug, that I'll pay for what happened, but I barely knew the man. I just thought he'd be a good HOA president. Asterisk, Karen studies her carefully. Asterisk, she was good. Calm, concerned, Believable, but I knew better. Have you reported these calls to police? Not yet. I wanted to ask if you've received similar threats. Maybe we should report it together? Show it's a pattern. She wanted to know if I suspected her. I haven't received any threats, but I'll keep an eye out. Thank you. Oh, and Karen, congratulations on getting your position back. Meadowbrook is lucky to have you. She left, walking calmly to a white Honda parked down the street. I photographed her license plate and texted it to Agent Torres. His response came 2 minutes later. That vehicle is registered to Coastal Management Services, another Doug Patterson shell company. Stay inside. We're coming now. Asterisk, Karen locks all doors quickly. Asterisk, I watched through my window. Barbara's car was gone. FBI arrived 20 minutes later. Too late. Agent Torres pulled up Barbara's real identity. Her name was actually Barbara Patterson, Doug's ex. They'd divorced 5 years ago, but never stopped working together. She's been his partner in all 4 development schemes, Torres explained. She handles the financial side while Doug manipulates the We found offshore accounts in her name containing $3.7 million. Why didn't she run when Doug was arrested? She probably thought we didn't know about her. She's been operating under aliases for years, but now she knows we're onto her. She disappear. Wednesday morning, I got an email. Sendor, B. Williams. Subject: Final warning. Asterisk, Karen opens email with trembling hands. Asterisk, Karen, you've made a terrible mistake. Doug is in custody because of you. The FBI seized our accounts because of you. But you missed something. We have insurance policies for situations like this. Back down now or people you love will suffer. Your daughter, Sophie, at State University, room 214. Harrison Hall. She walks to her 8 a.m. class alone every Tuesday and Thursday. Would be a shame if something happened. You have 48 hours to recant your testimony against Doug. Tell the FBI you fabricated evidence. Do this, or Sophie pays the price. Be my blood turned to ice. I called Sophie. Voicemail. I called again. Voicemail. Third call. She answered. Mom, what's wrong? You called 3 times. Where are you right now? Library, studying for finals. Why? Asterisk, Karen X. Exhales in relief. Asterisk, I need you to go to campus security immediately. Don't leave the library alone. I'm sending police. I forwarded Barbara's email to Agent Torres and campus police. Within 30 minutes, Sophie was in protective custody. FBI tracked Barbara's email. Sent from a coffee shop in Meadowbrook. She was still here. Thursday afternoon. Emergency HOA meeting. I called it for 5 p.m. maximum attendance. FBI wanted to use it as a trap. If Barbara thinks you're recanting testimony, she might show up, Agent Torres said. We'll have agents positioned throughout the community center. 5 p.m. 60 at homeowners attended. FBI agents disguised as residents sat scattered throughout. I stood at the podium, microphone on. Asterisk, Karen grips podium. Voice steady. Asterisk, thank you all for coming. I have an important announcement about the Doug Patterson case. In the back row, a woman in sunglasses and a baseball cap shifted. Barbara, I've been threatened to recant my testimony. Someone wants me to say I fabricated evidence against Doug Patterson. The woman in the back row tensed. But I won't. Because everything I said was true. Doug Patterson ran a criminal organization that destroyed communities and displaced hundreds of families. And he didn't work alone. Barbara stood, moving toward the exit. His partner, his ex-wife Barbara Patterson, threatened my daughter to keep me silent. Barbara broke into a run. FBI agents blocked every exit. Asterisk, Karen watches as agents close in. Asterisk, Barbara Patterson. FBI. You're under arrest. She tried the back door. Locked. She spun around, pulled something from her jacket. For a terrifying second, I thought it was a gun. It was a phone. She held it up finger over the screen. I press this button. Everything goes public. Every dirty secret, every victim, every failed FBI investigation that let us operate for years. I'll destroy all of you. Agent Torres stepped forward, hands raised. Barbara, You're surrounded. There's no way out. There's always a way out. Asterisk Barbara's hand shakes over phone asterisk. I don't know what possessed me. Maybe courage. Maybe stupidity. I walked toward her. Barbara, you threatened my daughter. You helped steal homes from families. You ruined lives for profit. I helped create opportunities. Those people got fair compensation. You paid them 65% of value after terrorizing them with fake violations. That's not fair compensation. That's theft. I was 5 feet away now. You can press that button, release whatever you want, but it won't change what you've done. It won't erase the evidence. It won't save Doug. And it won't save you. Asterisk Karen extends hands. Slowly. Asterisk give me the phone. Barbara, end this. For a long moment, she stared at me. Then her shoulders slumped. She handed me the phone. FBI agents moved in immediately, handcuffing her. As they let her out, she looked back at me. You shouldn't have taken Doug's offer. $200,000. You could have walked away. Asterisk Karen meets her eyes firmly. Asterisk. Some things are worth more than money. Like integrity. Like community. Like justice. Barbara laughed bitterly. Integrity doesn't pay mortgages. No, but it lets you sleep at night. They took her away. Doug Patterson, convicted on 18 federal counts, sentenced to 12 years federal prison. Barbara Patterson, convicted on 14 counts, sentenced to 9 years. Their partners, various sentences ranging from 5 to 11 years. Total restitution ordered $41 million to victims across 4 communities. Meadowbrook community recovered fully. Property values actually increased. Turned out, neighborhoods without corrupt HOA boards were quite desirable. Old Doug's fines were refunded. Every homeowner received compensation for stress and damages. My fence stayed exactly 4 inches over the setback line. Nobody complained. Asterisk Karen smiles. Looking at fence. Asterisk December, I hosted our annual neighborhood holiday party. 73 people attended, largest turnout ever. Mrs. Chun brought the Martinez family brought tamales. Mr. Warren told stories about Meadowbrook's early days. Sophie came home from university for winter break. Mom, you're famous. My criminal justice professor used your case as an example of citizen activism. I just wanted to keep my house. You did more than that. You saved an entire community. That night, standing on my porch, I looked at the fence that started everything. 4 inches. Such a small thing to nearly destroy my life over. Asterisk Karen touches fence, thoughtfully. Asterisk, but it taught me something important. Tyranny often starts with the smallest violations. A 4-inch fence today, a foreclosed home tomorrow. The key is standing up before small violations become big catastrophes. My phone buzzed. Text from Agent Torres. Karen, we found 2 more Patterson development schemes in other states. Victims want to know, would you be willing to testify? I looked at my fence, at my home, at the neighborhood lights twinkling in the darkness. Asterisk Karen smiles and types response. Asterisk I typed back. Absolutely. When do we start? Because some fights are worth fighting. Even over 4 inches. Karen's journey from being fined over 4 inches to taking down a multi-million-dollar criminal conspiracy proves that one person can make a difference. If you're facing HOA abuse, document everything, seek legal help, and never give up. Your home, your community, and your dignity are worth fighting for. What did you think of Karen's story? Drop a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe for more incredible true stories of justice and courage.